This is on why I give my loyalty to Denmark and what is it that makes it so special and worth being part of and defending. I have been thinking of this for many years and really found that I am part of Denmark because I'm raised here. I understand the language, the culture, and I feel the country and the peace in it and how it is organized and the struggle it has had through history, 1,000 years of evolving and development, but still holding together and being that unity that keeps the people also related in many ways, so they can discuss and talk, but not really kill and fight each other over politics and ideas. And it's a country that, with time, had created space for people also from other places. I came here as a refugee with my parents and found peace and rest from corruption and troublesome times and war. And that is something to really cherish and hold on to. And I found an education system that was ready to help me and hold me in the hand. And I found people who can give advice or guide me part of the way, or see to my needs. I've um, I've learned that how hard it can be by traveling in many other countries, to just put your food on the table or to be part of a workforce that's not effective and a system that's not really functioning. So to be part of this very highly effective and well functioning Denmark in many ways, that has made a boost in its economy and a workforce that works for quality and do things with heart and mind, and also being part of a country that is secure and safe mostly, and can, you can get around in any way, any places. And it's also a country I love for its kingdomship, because I support kingdomship. I think it's the basis for protection and safety when there are crises. And even though I like the parliament and that the politicians can be the voice of the people, it's also in the same time a very reassuring thing to have a queen or a king. And Denmark has had a wonderful queen for about 50 years, 52, and she had really done her work beautifully, attaching to the people and being part of the people and voice for the people, sometimes reflecting some of their mind or reassuring them of the beauty of their country and the place they are. And that's what makes it a bit of a fairy tale country, with its way of organizing, the beauty in it, the relaxation, the overflow of money and economy, the security, the safety, the ability to develop and change as you like. And this is not just to say something about the country, just to um, just to show that I like it. It has also its shadow sides, and the people has also some dark sides in them and in the way of being that needs to be addressed. But I'm telling why I must and have chosen and made up my mind to that loyalty. I know many people have done it before, but it's easier when you have when you are part of it, when you are like have felt it. And so I'm not an ethnic Dane. I am coming from the outside with another culture, another religion, and anyhow, I find that it is worth my loyalty and time and trouble. And that's why I'm part of it in many ways, more deeper than maybe I think or I know of. And I felt that when I went to the Middle East for some periods in my life, and I could see how people could tell me how much Danish minded I was and how much I was like thinking in a different way than they are used to. And that made me also reflect more and more on where I truly belong. It's here where I really enjoy my time and peace and relaxation. The blue skies or the gray skies with the rain that makes us enjoy the green fields and the green woods, walking or running in them, and the small cozy towns with people on bicycles or going and coming from their work, everyone looking and attending to his or her own and being part of something. It's a place where people are attached to the language, to the culture, to being part of something ethnic. And that has also thrown a shadow side on it, but mostly it's been a source of growth and security and attachment and what can you say, a power source of empowerment for many people. There are also the failed existence in Denmark, and that's also to be addressed. What I also like about, as I said, the kingdomship of Denmark, that is a constitutional monarchy, because we have a constitution, is that the laws are very respected, and they are separated, and there is a high level of transparency, even though it's not visible. And people go about knowing that they can criticize politicians and political parties without being persecuted or getting into trouble. And nobody is forced in or out of a work because of their affiliation. And the court system is trying to uphold the law, so everyone can feel safe. You have also a security net under you, so if you get out of job or cannot work because of some handicap or trouble, you will be cared for and you will be helped along the way. And I'm not saying it's always functioning perfectly, but in many other places, people are suffering much more of these issues and troubles than we are here in Denmark, thanks to that way of life that has been developed and people has accepted altogether. And so I also really personally like the King of Denmark. I've been standing like 100 meters away from him in the harbor of Greenland when I came there first, and he came and stood there with Queen Mary and the kids, and it was really, I felt that they were so close to earth and their personalities were so likable, and I really really enjoy, and I'm a big fan of our king. And I also like the way he really went about his personality, attaching to the people and being part of trying to prove himself in life, and not just taking for granted that he is a king and son of kings, and then that he is above the people, but really trying to prove himself to this highly educated and very critical people at the same time, that loves their kingdom and their life and their country, but at the same time can be critical of people putting themselves above the law or above everybody else, even though they all do it at times. And that's, again, anything has its shadow sides. But why I am attached to this country is because of my feelings for it and how I really feel the language, the culture, the way of living in the country of Denmark. And so I had to make up my mind at one point, because for some people it has been easier. They're coming from places where they didn't have any attachment or relation, and then it was easy, like just to say I'm part of this new thing here. But if you are from another culture or religion or background, and you can get in conflict with yourself being part of another culture or religion, religious ways, because you have another religion and background, then you have to really struggle with yourself and make up your mind on this. And that's why I've been trying in my books to raise my voice, hopefully to the benefit of Denmark, like from 10 years back. And I'm not doing so for years now, but I had at one point, because I see there are elements of disruption and trouble that's getting into the core and heart of Denmark that shouldn't be like that, and it will turn it with time into a society that will be divided upon each other and maybe look like some of these countries to the south, where people just like this type of authoritarian rule, and that doesn't fit the Danish mentality and sense of freedom that they like and the connectivity they have among them. Unfortunately, all these efforts have failed, and I think the voices that really opposed this were too strong and got closer to the minds of people in that sense. And it's not like a scare campaign or to be making people arouse against other people, but it's just to put in motion a kind of awareness of the necessity of making up your mind. Where is your loyalty if you are coming here from another places and have other kind of background, that you really realize you must be thankful and give your allegiance and loyalty to the country. And if you can't do so fully, then do it at least from the heart and mind of a person who came here as a refugee or found space and a safe haven from persecution and troubles and maybe a hard life that would have been otherwise. And if not, if you come here because you're a worker or because you have found a job. That's also something to be thankful for, because then you are seen for your qualities and you can put them into motion and you can get promotion. And that's the social development ability that is in this system, even though it sometimes can seem very hard and difficult, and maybe only some people promoting people of their own or people they know or something like that. There are these so-called networks. So there are shadow sides, no wonder, and no doubt of that, and that should always be addressed. And that's why I like being a part of Denmark, and I'm loyal to it, because you can put forward these thoughts and ideas, and other people will join you talking about it and discussing it and like looking into it, because still many would like to have the country transparent and clean and not going those corrupt ways. And that helps if you are always in touch with yourself and the people and the voice of enlightenment in that sense. And not to forget that Denmark has been a country that has been small for many years, but still put its voice forward in many areas with the big countries, and it has shown ability to make productions and give creativity in its work, and what can you say, productivity in its trade and relations. And it has been a humanitarian country for so many decades, really wanting to give charity and help around the world and influence change in a good manner. And so it is a country worth our loyalty and love and liking. And this is what I have been wanting to express for so long. I don't know why I've never done it, because maybe that's also a Danish thing, not to talk too much about these things, but just live them and be part of it as it is. And also not just, what can you say, use the buttering words of praise on a country, and also always remember to be critic and remember to be aware of the changes that can happen or the things that's not functioning as well. So that's how you also show your love to your country, is by being able and having space and ability to be part of correcting things and making things change in a good manner. And if not, then you go on peacefully with your life in tolerance and acceptance that the others have won the argument or won the posts or got the political wins, and then you congratulate them and you go on in opposition and talk. And afterwards, as I've heard from many parliament members I've visited several times, they say, well, we used in the old days, people could knock on the door, come in and say their opinion to us, or we could, as political opponents, just meet in the corridors afterwards and just feel part of the same work towards the same goal. I'm not saying that there isn't trouble and sometimes things that can crack a lot under the surface, but I think fortunately Denmark is also well equipped with a group of wise people and people in places that can influence keeping this nation together and not letting so-called anarchic and troublesome things to just go in and put it into a diversity that is not healthy. But still, there are worrisome times, and we can maybe feel these changes very soon. And so that's why maybe I've been thinking more and more about this loyalty and wanted to express it more. And I also hope many people from places where I come and other places would understand this and the importance of keeping this society as close to the level of cleanness and goodness and charitable mind and tolerance as we can, and maybe also discuss what's intolerant and wrong in it, and the hidden racism and the inner swine that can be in the hearts and minds of not so few of the population, unfortunately, because they are also scared and afraid of losing it all, or maybe don't want to share it, and that's understandable. Here comes some people that may be not loyal and not good and maybe acting in ways they don't understand, and so the integration process, as they say, is sometimes long and not visible. And so this can also bring forward some kind of crushes and trouble. And so we have all to work consciously on doing what we can to make this country um, as it is and better than it is always. I wish, yeah, I could give the national hymn a chance here, or say a few words like "Long live the King" in Denmark, and may God preserve us all. But it's not the custom anymore that people shout these things when they talk. So it's just about, yeah, okay, and get on with your life and work, something like that. And that's also beautiful. That's also okay. And yeah, it's on the top of the list of countries that have really succeeded in giving people a feeling of paradise and a small safe haven and relaxation and beautiful areas and many good things inside of it that really deserves our attention and loyalty and care and promotion. I do not like the high taxes though, so I may be part of that kind of opposition, but that's also something there is space for. And so it is. Yeah, the the feeling for a country is can be deep and big, and that's why it's good to make your mind up. And if you feel you're not loyal, I have to go back to the Greek states and how they said to people, well, if you don't like it and you don't feel you belong here, you should really look into the mirror and take your things and go somewhere where you feel you belong. And that's the natural state of things here, and should be like this. This is the logic. And so the trouble arises when people are in conflict or cannot give their loyalty to a country that is basically good, and they can reflect in and say, well, it looks like the vision I want for a country, maybe minus 10, 20% of things I don't like, and I would like to change that. So why not give it your loyalty? And that's where people have to decide and make up their minds if they are from some other places like I am. And this is discussion maybe I should talk and address even more than I'm doing now. Have a good day.